Hey everybody, it's Eddie, aka Montolio, and we are back for round 3 of a Vintage League, and we're playing HogaakVine today. And this hand on the draw, how is it? Pretty reasonable. We got to force a vigor up. Unfortunately, if we were on the play, it would be a lot better, but I think it's fine. I'm not sure what we're playing against here. It's a good one. Sensei's top, yeah. If they crack this, if they have no land in hand and they're just cracking their Sensei's top looking for it here, I 100% will attempt to force a vigor them. That's a peculiar sequence to mana crypt like that, and then play a top and crack into the top. So, do I want to do it? I think so. I think there's a reasonable chance they have a force here, but maybe not. And if this gets countered, I can follow up with the Chalice, and that will prevent PO. So if they're forcing here, we have the follow-up of the Chalice, which still could be good if they are indeed PO. So my opponent's thinking about this. Okay, so it looks like is it fluster or top? Okay, they're topping. So they're digging for a force here. They already know what's on top, but maybe they have something else here. But getting these two artifacts off the table would be pretty good. Okay, looks like it's going to resolve. It does. I have to feel good about that. That resolves. Okay, well, fortunately, I had to sequence that way. I don't think my opponent is going to counter the citrus supplier, but let's see. Did very poorly on my spin there, but let's see the root walla here. Was hoping to hit a Hogaak, and we'll just throw a Chalice down at 0. This does play in a trap, of course, but there's not much we can do about that. And now we've got a clock of 4 a turn. We're very likely to need some help here. Okay, so they did fetch in their upkeep. Despite I think we're slightly ahead in this position, I would not say by a lot. It's definitely tenuous, and we are going to need some help here. The likelihood, like a wasteland would be a good draw off the top for us. They did find a volcanic, okay. Death rate's pretty decent. Hogaak would also be good. And this is one of the things that I like about this deck is when you have mana, get a white source here. I don't think it really matters, but I don't think it matters, to be honest with you. I think I'm just going to get a black source. I don't have anything that's going to require white in the main. So Bayou's just probably a more important card here. And we'll get a death rate in play, and let's see how that goes. We can start chipping away at their graveyard. It's 2 per turn. This could fetch a force. I mean, it's a no-brainer if they have a misstep, in my opinion, but So we need to dodge Tinker here. Tinker is the card that's going to put us into an instant losing position. But if they don't have that, we might be all right. Okay, they paid 2 life, and that makes me happy. No information was traded there because I had nothing in my hand. Let's draw something good. Vengevine is actually not bad. I'm giving up. What if this doesn't resolve? I feel like it's not worth casting it here. I've got good damage on the table here. I'm really giving up odd damage. Obviously, long term, it changes things if it resolves, but I feel like I want to force my opponent to do something here. They're just cracking their top. Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What does that mean? I am cognizant of dig through time here. If they removed me here. Hull Breacher. Okay, Hull Breacher is a good one insofar as it can block my Stitcher Supplier, which I'm very happy to trade with here. And I'm going to do the drain now to potentially just keep them off from digging next turn. What did I hit? Once again, not very good. Okay, so my opponent has a top on the top of their library. My opponent may be forced to trade with a Basking Root Wall here as soon as next turn because that Deathrite Shaman is putting some pressure on them. So Dak Faden, okay. Dak Faden is decent. They can get my Mox here, which is going to take me farther away from casting a Vengevine. Oh, they're just... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's a pretty bad draw. Not going at Dak. I want to tax his life total here as much as I can. Yep. The problem for me is that I guess I have 2 spells in the yard here. So that's pretty good for me. So I feel like this one could be slipping away here a little bit. Obviously our hand was not great. Dak Faden plus Hull Breacher is definitely a threat. Let's see what they discard here. I probably will react given the opportunity if they do discard a creature here into their own yard, just to take away as much ability for them to dig as possible, or treasure cruise, taking away any potential discarded cantrips. They did not discard a cantrip. Okay, so this can't be good for us now. Top, we are aware of that one. So we're in a bit of a tight spot here. 2 cards in hand. Okay. So I wouldn't mind a Wasteland off the top. Bizarre. I am fearful of Hull Breacher for sure. I might just do it in their upkeep. Do it at the end of their turn. So don't necessarily get the value of their mana. I mean, they have a substantial amount right now. Now they're going to be making 3. Target player draws 2 cards and discards. I guess I'll go now. I think it's fine. Okay, all decent stuff. I did hit a Once Upon a Time there, which is good for me. I do need to be careful too, because Hull Breacher making treasure tokens is not a small thing when you're dealing with Saga tokens coming your way. Like boosting up a couple Saga tokens by 2 to 4 tokens is treasure tokens is quite significant. So that's another thing to be cognizant of. So they are doing something. So hopefully they did not find a removal spell for my Deathrite. This is Tinker? Time Walk, okay. It's pretty good. Of note, they are getting closer to Ultimate of Dak Faden here. They're going to be able to do that this turn. They have Pyroblasts in their deck, so they're going to make a treasure token here. I mean, that's pretty good. The question here for me is, I mean, I don't know if they're running Mystic Forge. I think I'm going to react here and take away their Time Walk. Time Walk, somehow they ever get that back, is really bad for me. Yeah, it's going to be a tight one. My opponent chose not. Oh, I guess they're going to just shut my Deathrite off. That's what they're going to do with a Needle. So it was smart for me to just do that anyways, because I would have had to have react to the Saga. But the good news is I have lots of things off the top of my library that can help here. Well, that's an overstatement. I don't have lots, but... Okay, shuts down my Deathrite. Not my Bazaar, presumably. Yeah, Deathrite Shaman. Yep. So I think this one's kind of gotten away from us a little bit. I wonder if this is a Breach deck. Dak teams up pretty nicely with Breach. It's very possible. It's so hard to know with the blue stew these days. Top is a nice one. Looks like we're good here to Bazaar. Those were really nice hits, both of them. Really nice. Land. I do like that. Let's see if it works. Oh, forgot about Vengevine. And get him for 1, putting him to 2. Yeah, we can wait a turn. I don't feel like I need to. He's got 1 card in hand. They've got 1 card in hand. I feel like it's okay for me to wait. Like, I mean, they're just going to jump block this, but next turn, I can deal them 4 damage outright. So it puts them having to find an answer. And I don't feel like their deck is chock full of answers here. Let me pardon, excuse me. I admittedly did not see that Vengevine there. I was not thinking about that when I sequenced my spells. And obviously that is a very good card for me. I also have the Bloodghast potentially coming back to my hand here. I also have the ability to churn for Okos. Or not Okos, Hogaaks, excuse me. So Fetchland is dangerous. They're obviously not too concerned about it. They could ultimate Dak Faden here and play a Breach. Yeah, I do like the way this is going here. They're digging, they're fetching, they're digging. Meaning I don't think they have the answers right now. We certainly do not have this wrapped up, but I like our position now better than I did a turn ago. And any land off the top of my library will animate Bloodghasts. And if my opponent uses their treasures here, it will shrink their construct, potentially into a position where a 3/3 or a 4/3 could trade with it, meaning my Rootwell and Vengevine. Okay. Is this a dig? It's a dig through time. Okay. Have they played a land? They did play a land this turn, so land is shut off. They currently have 2 treasure tokens. Moxes cannot be resolved through Chalice. Did they find an answer? Okay, that does help them. Taking my Mox. Yep, you got it. Well, we need a land here. I will spin. I did not find it. I can get 1 damage through. I think I have to, as much as I'd love to cast Hogaak, I think going for it here, because what happens is the Vengevine, the Root Walla will trade with the Construct. Or the other option is I ensure my victory next turn by casting Hogaak. If they force of will, they can counter Hogaak, but it still gives me an opportunity to get a land next turn, and I can cast attack with Vengevine here now. I'm going to cast it first, because I don't want to take a Ragavan hit. Let's see if it resolves. And it does. I'm going to attack with the Vengevine here. I just think they'll chump with Ragavan. I don't think they're going to want to trade their construct here. Okay. So, still in a tenuous position here. My opponent's getting a whole nother turn to go here, but I think that's okay. Hogaak is definitely a difficult card for them to beat. And Bloodghast comes in at 2 life and can mop things up. Ooh, that's scary. I think that could be game. Demonic Tutor was a bad one for them to find, unfortunately. But let's see what they have. Oh, they just got the combo. Yeah, okay. Well, that will do it. Okay, we almost got there. Feel like we floundered just a little bit. I feel like we want Deafening Silence. I feel like we want Collector Roof. Like, how good is Deafening Silence versus them? I'm not even sure. To be honest. Probably worth it. I mean, this has got to be a Tinker deck that we're playing against. Let's go. Okay. That was a grind, that game, and unfortunately for us, we fell up just a little bit short of being able to kill them. That Dark Faden won them the game big time. Was very, very good against what we were doing. Getting those treasure tokens were big off of the combination between Hull Breacher and Dak. They stole my Mox, which really didn't matter. And of course, they drew about a dozen cards off it to be able to eventually find into an answer to be able to give them a Vault Key combo. But things get a lot better for us post-board here. Deathrite did really well for us that game. Got us close. This hand's really awkward. I mean, I can cast a turn 1. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. We'll just do our best. Hopefully Deathrite following turn we'll be able to cast the Deafening Silence, but what I'm going to do is cast the Black Lotus. We're going to tap it for green. We're going to cast a Deathrite Shaman. Root Walla. opponent's pausing like they're going to do something. Who are you kidding? And we're going to cycle a hollow one. We got a Mox, but a Mox doesn't overly help here. Okay, we'll pass turn. Hopefully Force of Vigor can shore things up for us a little bit if need be. So these are obviously not the powerful hands that you're going to see out of HogaakVine. I'm playing a conservative route here. Non-bizarre hands, but that's okay. Okay, so nothing out of our graveyard. Okay, so that's a pretty weak hand from my opponent. I feel like we're okay, so let's do this. I'm going to play the Mox Jet. Obviously, I'd like my Force of Vigor to look a little bit stronger before we use that, but we can't quite use it anyways. I'm going to take their Urza Saga. I'm going to attempt to play a white and then into a Deafening Silence. And let's see if this resolves. This is big game for us if this resolves. So it looks like they've got a force here. That or they're posturing. My opponent has shown me that they do posture in this game. They do have it this time. Flusterstorm. Okay, and then we're going to play a Stitcher Supplier. Let's see if we can hit a Hogaak here. That would be really big for us. We did not. Okay, so we'll get in for a 1. Hogaak there would have been so nice. I guess they have their the Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Oh no, they just hit the Ancestral. Yikes. Okay. That's a little more on the disappointing side of things for me. The way we kept this hand, we can't beat broken hands from the opponent with it. It's just not built to do that. So we're going to need to get a little bit lucky here. Thinking about their Soul Guide? Yeah, they're just wanting to get rid of it. Well, I can't cast the Force of Vigor, but what I'm going to do is just proactively chip away at their stuff here, and we'll deal them 4 damage. And we just have to hope that their hand is a little bit weak. It certainly has looked weak so far, minus the Ancestral. Like they haven't done anything too significant, but that, of course, could change very quickly. Yeah, so there you go. Very similar to last game where we're kind of in a little bit of trouble here. We need a green producing mana. Collector Roof, that's a good one. Well, I think we're going to attempt to cast a Collector Roof. Yes, we turn off our mana in doing so, but I think that's okay. Collector Roof is still strong, even if I'm just getting a Lotus. But I suspect they're going to flash in a Hull Breacher is my guess. Yep. I'm still going to attack him with a Stitcher Supplier here. And if they just want to block it, it's good for me, as far as I'm concerned. Hogaak, please. We did hit a Hogaak. I can't quite do it, though. So I am fearful of Dak Faden coming down next turn. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Well, I can't really get through right now. I need land. That was a pretty good one. They may want to trade here. Okay. Let's see if this can help here. I could get Dryad Arbor, but I don't think that's really what I want. I'm going to get a Bayou. We're just going to continue chipping away at the graveyard here while able. Take the Force of Will. Wouldn't mind a Wasteland. Force of Vigor not looking so good here. Once again, I am going to attack in. And I think they will block this turn. And we'll make the trade. And I think that's pretty good efficacy for us. Now they're fetching another Hull Breacher. Yes. Okay. Still a bit scary. I could take their Soul Guide Lantern here to protect me from Tinker, but I really am hoping to get a little bit better value than that. This is the value I've been waiting for. Going to get rid of the Root Wall. I think keeping the second Vigor around here. My opponent is sandbagging, so let's see what happens. We still have the Deathrite Shaman to utilize here, so it's not the worst. This is another Hull Breacher. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's good news for me. Now, they may be able to PO here, or excuse me, dig through time, but I can't stop that. Yeah, that's what it is. That's a little bit unfortunate, but that's the world we're living in. So once again, I feel like we're in a position where we're going to get our opponent relatively low, but we might not be able to close this one. Because I can't really attack the Hull Breacher through. I'd like to. There's too many things that can go wrong. Our Deathrite no longer can produce mana. Yep. It's pretty good. I may have to attack into the Hull Breacher, unfortunately, with the Collector Roof. Green card would be good. Hogaak would be amazing. Oh, my prelim started. So attack in here. I think this will be somewhat telling as to whether my opponent wants to open up my Mox Jet or not. They maybe don't have artifacts in their hand, but this is telling that they do have artifacts in their hand. So let's do this. See if we can hit a Hogaak. We did not. Okay, well, I'm going to be, I was going to say proactive there with my Deathrite, but my Deathrite isn't working. Brainstorm, okay. Forgot I joined a prelim a couple hours ago, and there was only 2 people in the prelim. I didn't think it had a chance of firing, and of course it did fire, and now we're stuck in the old double queue. So unfortunately, I don't know that I'm going to be able to record both the prelim and this, but we'll see. This is Tinker. What is this? Sweltering Sun. It's pretty good. Did hit a Hogaak. Okay. Bizarre. Well, I'm going to start churning here while I have an opportunity. My opponent's in a pretty good position to win here. I don't have anything going on. Okay. Hull Breacher is a problem, but I don't have the luxury of playing around it. There we go. 1 creature away from Hogaak. Why didn't my opponent flash in the Breacher when I tapped my Bazaar? That's really weird. Okay. Let's draw a creature I can cast. It's not a creature. You'll get a white source here. Hmm. 1 mana away from hard casting it. I can't cycle it because of Hull Breacher. doing their upkeep here. I think I'll swords it. They could hard cast force here, no problem, but I'm holding the strip mine first for a. If this is Tinker, that would suck, but I mean, what do you do? Okay. My opponent's really killing some critical clock for me here. Hogaak is bad. Can't do anything. There's a hull breacher. A braid, okay. $20 seconds. So, I mean, my opponent's got their work cut out for them. I mean, they've got to deal me 17 damage with 10 seconds left. So remember, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. We are going to see you for round 4. We have found our way to a 3-0.